Oh, what is up, everybody? So this is my first live stream that is a vertical video. It looks so weird to me because I'm so used to a regular video format, but I had to jump on the live stream and talk about what has been going on recently so you guys can be in the know and not just be in the know, but I want you guys to pray. Please pray for my family because there's a lot of stuff going on that is out of my control. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so it's not as awkward. Um, let's talk about what happened today, and then we'll talk about what happened like 2 weeks ago on Valentine's Day, no less. Today, my dad was working out in the gym, and he started feeling like he had a headache. He started to sit down because he was working on a machine. I'm not sure where he was in the gym. I'm not sure what he was doing, where, what muscles he was working on. But he just felt like he had this really throbbing headache and, just so painful. So he sat down and then just things started to become blurry and almost like he was coming in and out of consciousness. Almost is that's what he was mentioning, I believe, when he was telling the story. So he barely remembers people like pointing towards him, like, "Hey, this guy looks like he's about to pass out," and the squad was called. So someone called 911, which is good because they found out that my dad had a stroke. And there is a term for this. I don't want to lose you guys and go through my messages because it's a special term with the brain hemorrhage. I'm just going to call it a brain hemorrhage because that's basically what it was. It was bleeding on the brain, technically a stroke. My dad went to the hospital nearest to the location where he was at, and that's what they basically diagnosed him with. They did a CT scan for him. They actually did two, one initially when they admitted him, and then another right before they transported him to downtown. So if you don't know where I'm at, I live close to Cleveland. I won't say where, but I will tell you that I'm in Ohio somewhere, and Cleveland is the nearest city. So they transported my dad to downtown Cleveland, and that's where he's at now. So my mom, myself, my brother, we all tried to follow him to the hospital. We actually were able to see him for a good few hours. I actually had to leave to help my wife with the kids, and you know, it was just all a blur. Today was just a blur. So um, here's an update on what the latest that I've heard, how he's doing. He's doing okay. The doctor had basically made the call that he doesn't need to get an angiogram until tomorrow morning, which is good. It's a good sign. If they were going to make that call earlier, like, he's going to get it immediately, that would mean that my dad is at a very, very high risk for some stuff that could happen and make things worse, like way worse. Um, there was a family member that had a stroke many years ago. Actually, my dad's sister, so it would be my aunt, and she is not doing well at all. She's still around, but she can't talk. I don't think she can walk very well. So it's um, it's kind of like it hits home more. So thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it, man, because uh, this all came so suddenly. You know me. I like to do live at lunches, and I haven't been able to do a live at lunch for so long because my wife and I had a baby daughter, and she's awesome. But you know what? Family comes first, and that's why I'm doing this because I couldn't work on a long format video. I'm actually working on a Charity Gale song for you guys. The latest one she did, I think it's called "Because of Jesus." But I'm tabling that because my dad is more important. No offense. Sorry, YouTube. So, anyway, here's what you can pray for specifically. Number one, when they do the angiogram tomorrow, that they don't see something major. Number two, that it's easily solvable. Number three, pray for the miraculous. Pray that God can heal my dad if it's in his will, and that he can be a testimony to the hospital staff there. It's just insane. I guess as a guy that's in his mid 30s, and seeing your dad like that, it's like it's just strange. Number one, because you kind of don't know how to react, um, but you also realize like life is so precious, and we need to savor every moment. You got your parents still around. Maybe you're older than me and your parents are still around. You got to be just respectful of their time. And I know that's so hard with maybe if you're juggling family like myself, but please understand, hang out with your parents, call them if they're far away, give them the time of day because it's so important. Um, so just pray for my dad. Pray that everything's going to be fine tomorrow morning. Again, he's going to have an angiogram, and they're going to determine what the next step will be after that. So um, I'm not in the medical field. My wife is. That's her specialty. My specialty is teaching. So that's what I do. But anyway, so I appreciate your prayers. Don't want to make this live stream too long, but here is one more thing that happened last 2 weeks ago. On Valentine's Day, we had to put our dog down, and I think Gracie has been featured in like one or two videos. She's popped in here and there. She's my golden retriever. She's actually in the picture right there with Andy. But we found out that she had lymphoma 2 weeks ago. She had not been eating enough food, or what we thought. We would always give her a bowl of food every day. That was like our routine. She wouldn't have any issues with it. Then she would kind of like let it go. She would take a few bites and then return and finish. Then she would take a few bites and not finish it. And then she wouldn't eat at all. So that was like, okay, what's going on? My wife, being the medical person in the family, and in my household, she's looking at the dog and she's like, she looks kind of swollen. You might want to check that out. So we took our dog to the vet, and the dog had 2.5 liters of fluid around her stomach. That's how much fluid was drained from her. So the vet was awesome. She took care of that for us. Huge, amazing. They're amazing where we went. But unfortunately, with all of that happening, they took an ultrasound of her liver, and I can't show it to you right now because it's on my phone and I'm streaming from my phone, but the liver looked like the moon. There was like craters in the liver. That's all I can really explain. It looked like you're looking at the moon. There's like these holes and divots and stuff like that. It was like, wow, that's not good. Aiden, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. So a few days afterwards, this happened like 4 or 5 days. We scheduled an appointment with our vet just to confirm, like, okay, is this really what the ER vet is saying? Because the ER vet, she was very knowledgeable. I give her tons of credit, but we want another opinion. Wanted to just make sure, like, this is what's actually happening with our dog. She's only 5 years old. We can understand if the dog was like 10. So, anyway, we took Gracie to the vet, our family vet. She's awesome too, and she's basically just as straight in as an arrow. Said, look, your dog doesn't have a middle of the road option. You could do chemo, which is the extreme, like, you can try to help her. It's not necessarily going to cure her cancer, but it is going to give her some time. Or you could put her down, and she's in a lot of pain right now. All I can give her is steroids. All I can give her is, an injection here, and send you to a specialist, which is more money. And she really emphasized, it's going to cost you like thousands of dollars. My family and I were blessed financially, but we don't have a ton of money. So knowing that the decline of our dog's health was so rapid, and even if we did have the means to pay for chemo and try to get this into remission, it was just not feasible. So we unfortunately said goodbye to Gracie, and she's buried in the backyard. That was Valentine's Day, and my wife and I were just bawling. Yeah, Valentine's Day this year. It was the worst Valentine's Day ever. It was pretty bad. So this is why, if you've commented on my channel, you might not have gotten a response right away. This is why I'm just not posting as often, because family comes first, you guys. And you know me, once we hit the 10-minute mark, I try to cut the live stream because you guys have lives too, and I want to respect your time. So just pray for my family, pray for peace, pray for no more emergency situations, and pray for my dad, especially with this angiogram they're going to do. Pray for his brain, pray for that area that'll just heal up, and that, you know, he's a believer. So, you know, whatever happens, I know that he's in good hands, you know what I'm saying? But what a testimony. I've heard so many testimonies of people getting healed. I don't know. It's in the Lord's will, and it's in his hands. So I appreciate you guys. You're awesome. And I hope to talk to you soon. We'll be working on that Charity Gale song. Hopefully we'll come out, and I say we, and whatever. It's just me running this, but we're going to try to figure out how to post that as soon as possible. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Bye.